bit of breaking news, and it finally seems that Daniel Levy has woken up. Thank the Lord, because Tottenham Hotspur are finally starting to make some moves in the transfer market. And let's be honest, the players that we've been linked with, they are very, very good players. I say very, very good. One is a bit we'll get a bit more into that when we get into it, but we have to speak about the news that dropped this morning. Tottenham Hotspur are back in talks with Crystal Palace regarding Eberechi Eze, and we're trying to get a deal done. Now, this is a deal that Spurs fans have been speaking about for years. I remember last season there was a few talks about it. Before the season even ended last season, all the fans were saying this is the player we need to bring in. As soon as the window opened, this is the player we need to bring in. But for some reason, Spurs just seem to have a different thought about it, and I really don't know why. Like, it does ring a lot of alarm bells because when you know a player's got a £68 million release clause, obviously he fits so well in our team. Plays number 10, plays out on the left. I really don't see why they weren't looking at it. Maybe obviously they thought Morgan Gibbs White was a player to come in and do that, but surely as soon as that Morgan Gibbs White deal didn't happen, that our attention should have been turned. I don't know, maybe they thought they had internal solutions. Obviously, the injury to James Maddison really threw that spanner in the works, and obviously losing our captain and long-term servant of the club, Son Heung-min. I'm guessing maybe they thought it's a time to do this. And yes, obviously I've been fuming all summer about how slow we've been reacting with business, but this is something that could be positive. I'm saying could be because anyone that's watching this as a Spurs fan knows that nothing is done and signed until they are there holding up the t-shirt. Let's go back to Willian. How many players have we been hijacked for? Luis Diaz, remember we were trying to get him and then Liverpool came and swooped him. Even this summer, we got the Here We Go on the Nottingham on Morgan Gibbs White. He was booked in for a medical, still wasn't a Tottenham player. So until I see him holding that Spurs shirt, doing that first interview of Milesy, yeah, I'm not believing in it. But Eze is a top player, as I said, can play in the number 10, can play on the left, so he fits two spots as well. Yes, obviously there are a few question marks around injuries. He does get a few niggles with injuries, but with a player with that much talent, I think you just gotta take the risk sometimes. Obviously, I'm not saying it's a good thing that he's got injuries because we just look at James Maddison before he came to the club. Yes, he had quite a bit of injury problems and he's not been the fittest since he's been with us. But once again, with these talented players, sometimes you just got to take the gamble. I mean, he's got Premier League experience, plays for England, multiple trophy winner as well. Obviously, if you want to count the Community Shield as a trophy, you just got to go out and get him, to be honest. In the sort of prime of his career as well. Obviously, we're looking to go to the World Cup, so they're the side of players that we need. But the one caveat I will add to this Eze situation that just makes me so nervous is the fact that, yes, there's a team down the road in North London who are also interested in him. And we all know that Arsenal play higher wages than us. So obviously, if it comes between a straight shootout between us and them, then he's more likely to go to them. Let's be honest. Yes, he could get more game time at Tottenham. But let's be honest, players care mainly about the wages. And obviously Tottenham don't pay the biggest wages. So that's the one thing that does not put me off, but it's just a bit of a bummer. But Tottenham need to go in and get it done ASAP before. Obviously, I think Arsenal got a few problems not problems with finances, but obviously they probably would like to sell before they sign a player like that. So Spurs should just nip in the bud and get that deal done as soon as possible before Arsenal think, nah, let's go and move for him because it's a player we want, it's a position we need, and obviously they can offer him a title charge. Obviously, Champions League football we can offer as well, but let's be honest, they're probably going to compete in the Champions League further than us. So, as I say, we need to get that done ASAP and bring him to the lane. Release clause, there's been a few things about it, whether it's expired. Some are saying it's already expired. Some say it expires on Friday. I've seen some people say it expires at the end of the transfer window as well. So, not really too sure about that, but yeah, just pay the money, man. We say this a lot, yes, just pay the money, but whatever it could be up front, maybe 35 million up front, Spurs have got a lot of not a lot of investment, but look at all the outside activities that we've been doing. As I mentioned all the time, the concerts, the F1, the NFL. Like Spurs have got 35 million in the bank, I'm sure. And then we go to the second one. This one came out a bit of a left wing because obviously it's not a player we've been linked with. Obviously, we know that's the way that Johan Langer likes to work anyway. But that's Savinho at Man City. Left-footed right winger. Obviously, he plays in exactly the same position as Mohamed Kudus. So I don't know what that means. Are they looking to put Kudus in a 10? But obviously, the fact that we're working on the Eze deal doesn't really, I don't know, it confuses me a bit, to be honest. But, mate, he's a baller. It's probably more of an issue for the likes of Wilson Odegaard, Brennan Johnson, Matthias Tell. But we need quality in the wings anyway. So it's not a bad thing to add in quality players. Yes, he's 21. I think obviously a big selling point is obviously no one's really mentioned it. They say yes, he's Desire. He thinks he can get into the Brazil squad, but let's be honest, it's the wages. I don't think he's on the highest wage at City. So obviously Tottenham could probably put him on 70, 80k a week. Obviously it's not blowing our wage structure, even if we gave him maybe 100. And yeah, he'll be doubling, maybe tripling these current wage at City. So obviously the wage is going to be a massive thing. We know that City is starting to look at Rodrigo as well, so that could be a replacement. The fact they're looking at replacements means could be willing to get it done. There's talks about they're looking for around 70 million euros. So what's that, about 60 something million? So 120 for him and Eze, like, that's not the worst in the world as well. As I say, another player with Premier League experience. Obviously, if Thomas Frank sees him as a player that he wants, he obviously sees that. We know that Thomas Frank's strength is improving players, and Savinho has got a lot of talent, as we've seen. Yes, he's very raw. Hasn't scored many goals in the Premier League. I think he's grabbed quite a few assists, but let's be honest, the Pep system is so rigid. So maybe we could see him free up if he did come to Tottenham. But once again, another absolute baller. It's an improvement on some of the players we've signed in more recent years. If we just go back to last season, yes, I know that Wilson Odegaard is a top talent. Obviously, once again, yes, he did play in the Premier League, but obviously that was from Burnley. But a player coming from City, he's been pushing at the higher echelons in the league, been playing Champions League football, obviously an international as well for Brazil, who aren't a bad country at all. As I say, World Cup year, Brazil, we're looking to win the World Cup as well. So I have no doubt that if he does come in, he'll be looking to put on that top performance. But yeah, at Tottenham really being serious. What do you guys think about these signings? Which you just think is cannon fodder? I see a lot of people on X as well talking about these were just smoke screens. So we can get to the end of the window and Daniel Levy come out and say, "Oh, we tried to sign these players," and that's another thing. It would not surprise me if Spurs did that at the end, not getting both of them, and said, "Oh, but we did try and get Savinho and we did try and get Eze." But I really don't know. What do you guys think? And what do you think about the positions? Because let's say we do sign Savinho, we do sign Eze, then I'm guessing Eze is going to be in a 10. Do you put Kudus on the right? Or do you put Savinho on the left? Because we know Savinho's preferred position is on that right, and that's the same as Mohamed Kudus. And obviously, you're not going to be moving Mohamed Kudus to. I mean, you could go Savinho, Kudus, and Eze, and I've just thought about that as well. And boy, oh boy, that's a lot better, isn't it? So yeah, let me know what you guys would do as well. Who would you put where? What do you think about the signings? Is there anyone else we should be targeting? Do you think we'll get it done? And what do you think? Do you think Arsenal will just come in and steal it? Please, no. But let me know in the comments as well. Please make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Please smash that like button. Rinse me in the comments as well. And we'll be back. We got to talk about the Super Cup as well. And we'll talk about that in due time. And we'll be back with plenty more Spurs content. Peace and love.